Hello everyone and welcome to round number 1 of the 2013 Action Sports Grand Prix Championship Series. Located in Athens, Ohio near Ohio University, Action Sports has been running motorcycle races of all kinds for over 35 years, and we are happy to bring you race coverage for the first time ever here in 2013. Some of the nation's best as well as the world's best off-road racers have come to the Action Sports Moto Park to lay claim to the 2013 title. There are classes for all age and ability levels for motorcycles as well as ATVs, so if you have a machine that's used for riding around the yard or doing work on the farm, bring it out to Action Sports. We're racing Grand Prix today, so what is a Grand Prix? Basically, it's a combination of motocross track, grass track, as well as woods. The wood sections are no narrower than 10 feet wide, making it an easier track than your typical hare scramble. Bark busters and handguards aren't really a necessity, but it still never hurts to have them on. Each race lasted around 45 minutes, so worrying about fuel isn't an issue either. It's a more enjoyable form of racing than your usual off-road event, but the competition is just as fierce. Today, some of the top talent has showed up for the pro classes, including last year's double pro class champion and former national enduro champion Zach Lampeth, as well as the number 3 rider in the Grand National Cross Country Series last year, New Zealand's Rory Mead. We're going to be taking a look at our 50 classes today, which include our junior 4 to 6 year old group, our senior 7 to 8 year old group, as well as our beginner riders, which are basically on PW50s and shaft drive machines for ages 4 to 8 years old. Some of the up and coming talent is here today, including Joey Cunningham, Blaiston Moore, and Wyatt Morris. These riders are going to be competing on a slightly modified track compared to where our bike riders compete on, as you see right here. And we'll explain all that here in just a second in our Grand Prix 411. Once again, a shorter format. The idea for these 50cc riders is to not have to make a pit stop as we look at our Grand Prix 411, 30-minute race on a mile-long track that combines motocross and woods. These guys are going to be going about 10 laps as we're going to jump right into the action. As these guys are already off and rolling, and it looks like Wyatt Morris with the early hole shot. Looked like Blaiston Moore was behind him in second. So we're going to jump around and find these guys out on the racetrack, and it looks like we got a battle for second, I believe, and it looks like that's Blaiston Moore out front. That might have been Xavier Money right behind him. So look, these guys, not a whole lot of experience with these guys, and looks like this might be our battle for the lead right here. Looks like Joey Cunningham into the number 1 spot, Wyatt Morris right behind him in second. These are already into lap traffic. Blaiston Moore in the 3rd spot, right behind him in 4th. Looked like that was a 65 machine of Carter Fouts as we head back a little. Actually, this is on the next lap. Looks like Cunningham still out front. Moore is still holding down the number 2 spot as they head around. They're going to go around those jumps. We actually bypass this part of the track for the 50s. They're going to head wide open up this hill. Moore is still keeping Cunningham in his sights as they head back around to complete another lap. Like we said, they're going about 10 laps in a 30-minute race, a little bit over 3-minute lap times. So they're coming around quick as we got the battle for third here still between Moore and Fouts. Looks like Fouts trying to make a run on the outside. They fall back into line on this off-camber. Fouts gain a little bit of ground. Let's see what happens as they make their way across the top. We're going to cut back in. Same riders once again. It looks like Moore is shaking away. Same section a lap later, so it looks like Moore has put Fouts behind him. There's Fouts in the number 4 spot now. As he heads back down, we should be seeing our leaders here in a little bit. Looks like your 6th place rider, Kenton Brown on the 22 KTM. Brown looks like he had a hard crash at the beginning of the race. We're actually getting confirmation that he did have a hard fall on the opening lap. Laid on the track for quite a bit, knocked the wind out of him. You see, coming back into view, that was your battle for the lead once again. I believe that was Carl Frank going through in the 4-6 class. Actually, it might have been Ryston Richards in your 7-8 classes. There's Cunningham again. Moving back to another portion of the track. This is right off the start and the finish line, actually. There's Morris once again on the 08 machine. So he's still trying to run down Cunningham. As Cunningham makes his way back into the center portion of the motocross track. Looked like that was Kenton Brown right there. Looks like that's Richards, and then there's Morris. So Cunningham putting a little bit of time on Morris. Morris can't see Cunningham anymore, so he's starting to stretch it out. They've got a big gap over the third place battle, which is Morris and Fouts, as they head back out of view into the second wood section. It looked like here is Moore in the 99B machine, and he is shaking Fouts. There's Fouts right there. Different line choice for Fouts, taking a longer way around, it looked like, instead of shortening up the turn. Looks like this is the number 5 machine. Looks like that's Dakota Cunningham. He runs second year 4-6 class. Younger brother of this rider right here, Joey Cunningham, still leading the 7-8 division. As he heads around, we've only got a couple laps left as these riders keep circling around. There's Morris, and it looks like that is the 91 machine. That's Carl Frank, so that must be Richards that we were catching earlier. So Frank, there is the number, looks like the number 9 machine. That might actually be Richards. That might be, there's, yeah, that rider right there in front of this group. That might actually be Xavier Money in the 5th spot. As the battle for 3rd heating up, it looks like Moore has got pressure once again. Oh, he goes down. That was Fouts. He had worked into the back end of Blason Moore. Unfortunately, he goes down, so that's going to move him back once again. As we take another look at Kenton Brown. Brown, the son of one of the great off-road riders in Ohio, Kevin Brown, a 6 days international 6 days enduro competitor. Also a great enduro rider, competed with Terry Cunningham, Dick Burleson back in the 70s and 80s. So we're going to wind this down. Cunningham with the win in the 7-8 class. Carl Frank, your winner in the 4-6 class. And Ryson Richards, your winner in the PW class. For more information on the 2013 Action Sports season, log on to www.actionsportsracing.com. Thanks for watching.